Durst the worst?
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst.
Oh, Durst the worst.
Durst is the worst.
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst?
Durst the worst.
Durst the worst.
Homeschool yo motherfucking kids. So we got school board members in Michigan, black school board members in Michigan, saying that white people are more dangerous than animals. So that's cool. If you boomers need any other indication that it's about race and not about, like, whatever, the Constitution or the First and Second Amendment or whatever, although those are important issues, I think there's another axis to this that you're not examining, which is the racial aspect. But we'll check out this article and video, or like half this article and video. You can check it out yourself. Earlier this week, Michigan's school board meeting took place where Kesha Hamilton, a school board member, stood by her statements that white people are more dangerous than animals. As a result of the crazy accusations, the meeting had a larger attendance than normal, with many parents and attendees demanding her resignation. So she tweeted out, quote, "Whiteness is so evil it manipulates," then says, "I won't apologize for my dishonesty and trauma-inducing practices," and thinks you should applaud it for being honest about its ability to manipulate and be dishonest. So that's just gobbledygook. Like, a 2-year-old can spit something up more coherent than that. I mean, that's just goo-goo gaga goo-goo. You know what I mean? This is an infant that's been given dominion and control and resources over other people. That's what this is. This is a barely sentient simian that's been given institutional sway, at least in some context, at, school board Michigan. But she continues, quote, "The last thing you have to worry about is an animal, though that could be a very real threat. More dangerous are any whites you may see on the trail. Be safe." So that is just like, in a sane society, should be fired immediately, right? But do you think that's going to happen? I think this is her doubling down, or, saying that she's not going to back down about what she said. We're going to check this video out, though.
I also want to thank everyone who has come out in support of public education.
Homeschool your kids.
Come out on behalf of our community, who are here because they recognize the power and necessity of truth seeking and truth speaking.
Truth, you know what I'm saying?
Provide an education.
Truth for the
that
youth.
best serves each individual student in JPS. I want to thank those who understand that racial disparities exist, and the only way to eliminate those racial disparities is to face them. Thank you all for being here. Jackson Public Schools is better because of your concern and care for our student body, our parents, and our dedicated teachers. I'm going to deviate from my notes for just a minute because
So there are disparities in IQ and income, that's right. Look at this. What is this chalice? What does she got going on there? Some fucking mango drank or something? Whatever the fuck that is. And this fucking disgusting white person wearing a mask. Just being a doormat. Man, them disparities exist. Okay, well, that's your community's fault. Because you're corrupt. And you're fucking sleazy. And you're violent. And you're uneducated. You celebrate anti-intellectualism. Right? You're fucking hucksters. Your most successful people are hucksters and pro-athletes. Who the fuck's fault is that? So, what is she going to say? She's going to deviate from the script or whatever she said. What is she going to say?
I am overwhelmed with the support of my community. I am overwhelmed with the way that you all showed up for me tonight. I am overwhelmed that the things that I have done in this community, the messages that I have put out there, the teachings that I have given, that you all have received them. Thank you.
Disgusting.
I can't say thank you enough. Thank you. Thank you.
Gross.
I expect and hope that we as individuals who respect the Constitution and each other's rights under it would do is to, 1, learn to ignore tweets that are disagreeable to you. 2, fully read the tweet and attempt to understand it. 3, choose to be a part of the solution so that in time, the tweet could no longer be factually true. We have to act.
So they want you to fucking basically de-emphasize and erase and basically genocide yourself, Whitey. That's what they want you to do. So when she's saying that you're basically more dangerous than animals, you need to be a part of that solution. And what do you do to a feral animal? And of course, this is all projection because Donkey Kong do 1350. That's really what we're looking at. I mean, who the fuck's more dangerous than animals, dude? Who the fuck's really more dangerous than animals? Which demographic do you think? Which racial demographic do you think is more dangerous than animals?
Ask ourselves, what are we angered over?
We gotta ask
The fact that it was
ourselves.
said, or the fact that it is true? Or is the issue our incomprehension of how policies and practices established by the white majority are impacting each of us?
That's a grift.
And the last of the real issues is an attempt to silence.
Yeah, she should be silenced, fired, put up on charges, and fed post redacted. But dude, whatever. The white policies, like, your race is so garbagey that you're still complaining about that shit like 200 fucking years later. You're so garbagey. Why do these policies not affect any other group that has experienced the same freaking shit, dude? Why? Why does it not affect them? And that goes to Republicans too. How does the so-called Democratic plantation not affected any of the other races as badly or at all? How do you explain that? Conservatives and shitlibs alike, okay? From those of us that actually understand the other access to this racial identity, we're looking at this like both parties are stupid and insane. I mean, with the progressives are more insane. Republicans are just only slightly less insane because they've ever espoused a half-truth. That doesn't really absolve them too much. I mean, they're still pussies, and you'll see a couple of these quotes coming up soon that's very conciliatory gestures coming from these kind of people. Because she's just like using the school institution to call for your erasure and your genocide, and she's telling you that you need to be a part of the solution, which is your erasure and genocide, and she's telling you that you need to like it, right? But let's see what else she has to say.
The discussion around disparities along racial lines that exist not only in this district, this city, our county, or our state, but across this nation.
That's because you suck so
Educate
bad.
ourselves more, understand how these racial disparities are impacting us and our neighbors, and not let them be successful in silencing us.
You're sick. People like that are sick in the head. Like, she can fucking mouth those words that she must know are bullshit, dude. Oh, it's the disparities, y'all. Yeah, when she says that white people are more dangerous than animals, that's what she's talking about, is y'all disparities. Disparational disparities. And the systematic systemizationism of the white majority. Like, no, you're just calling people names, and then when people call you out, you act all indignant. It's just typical chick shit. Typical fucking black shit. So yeah, one concerned parent rightfully pointed out, how can all kids feel safe when physical characteristics over which they have no control are being called evil and dangerous? That's good. That's good. It's true. Yeah, more parents need to fucking say shit like that. Right? I mean, you can't just fucking single out a race of kids and say that they're fucking dangerous like animals. Especially, again, when it's 100% rejection. Another parent added, this is where some of the conciliatory gestures come in that are kind of on the mark, like half-truths, but don't really get to the heart of things and only lend credence. Quote, you are not addressing the disparities. You are adding to them by your hurtful remarks. Your words are not unifying our community. Your words are dividing our community. So, right, it's not, first of all, disparities. It shouldn't be our duty to give a shit about their so-called disparities. If you're a white parent or a white student, you should not have to give two fucking shits about their fucking so-called disparities. Because they're grifting. They're taking advantage of your better nature, your altruism, so they can take advantage of you monetarily, politically. They're guilting you into relinquishing power. So don't fucking listen to that. It's not the white man's burden. You're adding to them by your hurtful remarks. Your words are not unifying our community. Your words are dividing our community. So it's not this old trope. It's not about division per se. They're dividing us by race. They're using a coalition of every other race to attack one race, white people. They're telling every other race to unify based on race, but that the white race should not unify based on race, while all the other races are attacking them. So dividing, I mean, I would think that it would be rational to want to be divided from like an uppity, disgusting hag like this and her mask-wearing cohorts. I mean, you should want to be as far away from somebody like that as humanly possible, I would think. That would be the rational thing, right? I mean, come on. It's terrible. One teacher, who is a proud conservative white Christian, pointed out the hypocrisy. Never once in these 5 years has she questioned me, a white man, a conservative Christian white man, at that, in regards to teaching her children about their history, a history that is not mine. That's true, that's true. But again, we should probably have, I mean, at this point, we should have separate schools and separate school boards, because, I mean, if we really want to have a culture that is worth a shit in the next 15 to 30 years, like, something drastic has to happen. Can you imagine, like, if the entire school board of every major city is majority run by people like this? And not just major cities, like small cities, medium-sized cities. That's coming in the next 15 to 30 years, if not less. That is coming. So, buckle up, I guess.
When there's nothing left to say, if you watch football, you're gay. If you watch football, you're gay. When there's nothing left to say, if you watch football, you're gay. If you watch football,